Mark Green, decorated combat veteran, no stranger to capturing renowned terrorists, Saddam Hussein among them, and chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be with you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
If this is such a big threat, why haven't we arrested anybody who was plotting something?
We have arrested, the number's actually well over 100 in the last 7 days. The total number since the administration has come into office, around 670.
But how are we defining? These aren't people who are plotting something. These are people who were Iranians or had terrorist ties who are here. Who
were allowed to come into the United States by the last administration. And do we know for a fact that they're plotting? No. Did we know that the 19 who killed 3,000 Americans that day beforehand were plotting? No.
Okay, so fair enough. But I guess the question is that if this is such a big threat, I happen to think it is, I think it's a reasonable question. Why haven't any of these people done anything yet? Why hasn't there been one plot uncovered?
Well, think about the commitment that is from Iran and what we would do if that were to happen. Okay. We do know for a fact, though, that they attempted to kill an Iranian journalist in New York City.
Right.
We know they attempted to hurt, or kill Mike Pompeo. We know that they have targeted our president. So
they've targeted John Bolton.
Exactly.
They tried to kill the Saudi ambassador here, on and on and on. So,
in our country.
Right. So take me through the arc here. What is the real threat of, and we keep hearing this, sleeper cells?
The threat of a sleeper cell is that they conduct a terrorist attack, or that they energize Americans to do the same. I mean, it can be both.
Do we have any, I keep coming back to it. Do we have any evidence that it is in the works, if you will?
Nothing that I can, talk about now.
Okay. So what are Americans to think going into July 4th?
I think Americans should never let an enemy threaten them, and they should live their lives just like they normally do. What frustrates me, Leland, is you have the Democrats out there talking about, oh, this act by President Trump has put us all at risk because of Iranian sleeper cells in the country. But they're the ones who had the border wide open.
Well, they're also the ones who didn't care about Iranian sleeper cells before, and Iranian sleeper cells would have a lot more freedom of action if Iran had a nuclear weapon. But keep going.
Right, exactly. They're also the same group of people who don't want us to have guns to defend ourselves against any threat that's inside the United States after allowing threats to come into the United States. So.
Okay, so put that aside. But I guess we keep putting these pictures up on the screen, and I understand, and there's real questions of who these guys are and why somebody who had IRGC and Hezbollah ties are here. I guess what I'm trying to think about is that if these people were arrested, are we to believe that they were just here driving Ubers and delivering DoorDash?
An Iranian sniper?
Right.
I'm guessing no. Is he here for the we make better pizza? I doubt it very seriously. But we don't have evidence that we can talk about, that this guy was plotting an attack.
Okay. What, in your mind, is what is going to keep Iran from ordering these guys, if they're truly under their control, from committing an attack?
The hell that Donald Trump would unleash on them if they were to order someone to do something inside the country. Because you and I know what he just did communicated not only to Iran, but to China, and to Russia. I mean, the unpredictability or the determination to defend the country against these kinds of threats, I mean, it just got made much clearer.
You don't worry that now being willing to sit down and negotiate with them lets them off the hook?
So you have to think about the way Iran responded. They shot a few missiles. Qatar helped us shoot them down. They responded for the home audience, keeps them in power or helps them stay in power. Let me say that. Honestly, I think they're probably in a place where they'll talk to us now.
And you believe that they're going to talk in good faith?
No. We've been at war with Iran since '79.
Right.
But we might get a period of peace from this. Absolutely.
So in other words, what you're saying is, and this is what I'm trying to understand, though, is we talk about how challenging and how the real threat of the sleeper cells and how that's so dangerous, yet you're sitting here telling me that you don't think Iran's going to order.
No, I don't think that they will order it. But the problem with this is it's just like with threats we've had from other countries recently. You can't turn that off very easily sometimes. Okay, so it gets turned on. The question is what's the communications delay to say, okay, we're going to let this chill right now? We don't know that. We also, you know, specific intelligence, we can't dialogue about that. But I would say Americans just can't let the enemy intimidate us.